And hello to all my Aries friends, I'd like to welcome you in. My name is Scott Sagent, and today I'll be doing your free Psychic Tarot reading for April 2023. Now today they've dialed up for my great Aries, a storyline spread. This is a great spread for general readings because it casts a very wide net across the entire sign of Aries. It allows me to be very accurate because we're going to be telling a bunch of different stories about different Aries. There's going to be a story in here that is right for you guys. I've had people tell me that multiple stories do and often will resonate with them, but at the end of the day, this whole spread is about finding the story that is right for you specifically, and we're going to do that today. The storyline spread is also pretty cool because they can talk about anything they want in here. There can be a story about health, moving to a story about love, and a story about work. They can do whatever they want, whatever they need to get through. They can facilitate that with this storyline spread. They've asked that I conclude your reading with an angel protection card. That's just going to give us a little extra push, an emphasis, maybe on a certain story, maybe on the whole sign. We're just going to have to see when we get there. Also going to conclude your reading with the rune stone, which will tie a nice little bow around this project that we call April. So the cards are ready. They're shuffled. I do that ahead of time to save us all a bunch of time, guys. I'm going to bring you in right now with the overhead so you can watch. I like to share my table with you and show you what's going on, what I'm working with. We are on and recording, I do believe. These are my ritual cuts, guys, basically cutting each deck into thirds, put them back together in a separate order that satisfies the ritual aspect of tarot. It is the same procedure for personal private reading, so it's just like you're here with me now. So every single storyline spread, doesn't matter what brand it is, if it's specific for work, specific for love, or just this kind, which is just open to spirit, we start with 5 cards. So these are your base core 5 cards, the most important that you will see. That's them right there. We're going to keep going. Our spread does get larger. We did not get that stop order from Spirit yet, so we continue. And actually now we got our stop order from Spirit, and I know that because this gentleman here, the Hermit, is looking back inwards. I believe that should be in camera here view for you. I'm going to shuffle it in just a little bit just to make sure. So he's looking inwards. That brackets us off. Full stop from Spirit. So there we go. Now I got to get the pairings together because we don't have enough inverts to matter. We have a pretty well distributed group. So pairings. This one's going to be a standalone story by itself. And then when we go over this way, story here, and story here. So we're looking at 3 different stories for Aries for April. There we go. Now I need some more cards. More information is needed and required. The Judgment card is a Major Arcana card. That will get 2 cards to describe it. Over here, we have the Lover's card. Going to get 2 cards also. Major Arcana. Over here we have a king. I need to see if that's a person or the energy of, and they told me person because I have double kings. That lets me know energy of a court card person, not the energy of the card itself. Now we also have the Hermit card over here, another Major Arcana card. It's going to get 2 to describe there. So that's all wrapped up here. I have another person card that came up. Just need to verify it's not a person, or if it is, they say no, not a person there. So you're using energy definitions on that story. So all the card work is done here. I do need an Angel Oracle card for every story, and in case I went off the view a little bit, which does happen time to time, I will move the camera around to show you every single bit of it. So this one's going to go here. I don't read those ones upside down, just the 78 tarot cards I do. This one's going to go here like that. And then this is the only story that has enough inverts to maybe matter. Probably not, though, as I recount. So we're 3 and 3, so it's going to be fine. The card work is done with this last card. And that's it. Now it's just a matter of showing you guys everything on the view, and we'll get to work, guys. Let's get right to it. Yank this off of here, and we are recording. That's good news. Working with a new phone, so hopefully this gets it done for us here. That's going to be story 1. Story 1 there. Going to move story 2 over here. Very interesting one there about love and people dynamics in quite a large way, and mental capacities. And then over here in story 3, this is the largest of your group here. And, well, that's an interesting one too. But we'll talk about that when we get to it. Let's get to work, guys. No time to wait. Let's do it, do it, do it. Aries April. Aries April, a little bit of alliteration. Make some room for myself. See it nice and clear. Got a pretty nice, good read here for Aries. Not a whole lot blocked. Things are coming through clear for my great Aries in the month of April. Good omen to start with. So here we go in story 1. The first thing that they want to bring up in story 1, this is your attachment card, so this is how you're going to help determine if this story is about you. And even if it's not, you can still get some pretty good information for some moving pieces. Sometimes if you know the context, if you understand how to apply what Spirit is trying to say to your life specifically. So The attachment card there is the card of judgment. This is the card about making major decisions, and this tells me here a lot of my Aries have done so already. For some of you that need to make a major decision, this is their way of saying, hey, you know what? This should have already been done, maybe in March, okay? But April, let's get to work here. Make this major decision, get it done. They want you to find peace. So this is, if you read between the lines, when peace comes up, it's like saying you're not at peace before, right? They're trying to get you to a place of peace, which means you're not there. So they're saying if you make this major decision, that'll be like the monkey off your back. You'll feel better about things. You won't have to worry about it anymore. So that's why they're saying, blow the horn here. If you haven't already, and if you have, great job, Aries. You are very much on the right path here. Now, what else do they bring up with story 1? They bring up children. It's also childhood nostalgia card. So some of you here that you're making a major decision about, it may have to do something with the kids, grandkids, lower levels of the family, generation gap, younger or older, can kind of work both ways. But that's what they bring up there is children. Also, like I said, childhood nostalgia. So some of you something may be happening in April that brings you back to your past, your childhood, your memory bank. All this kind of stuff comes up here. This is also like, if you go back to your old hometown where you grew up, or something, you go somewhere that reminds you of such a place. Let's say you go to a bowling alley and it's just like the one you remember when you were a kid. That's kind of the energy that's coming up here if they're not talking about kids directly. The other thing we show here is the Devil card. So there is something here in this story that has to do with bondage. I view the Devil card very much as a handcuff card. It is not necessarily bad or evil. Now, the things that do handcuff us in life, sometimes they are bad, like bad habits. That would handcuff you. If you're addicted to smoking, you don't want to be addicted to it. Well, guess what? You got to figure out a way to break these shackles loose. So that's what the Devil card is about. It's about that bondage. It's a lot less about, well, whether it's good, whether it's bad, or what. So it means that you're really tied into something here in the story. Maybe it goes back to that decision that you made. Maybe it's a major commitment of some form. And that's what they're saying here. Now you're locked in, right? So that's kind of the energy of what goes on there in story 1. So very good, guys. Let's move on to story 2. Story 2 up here. The first thing that comes up here in story 2 with our attachment card, Aries, is we got the home upside down. So why do we have that, and what does that mean? That means that the energy needs to be put into the house a little bit here, the home environment. If it's not a house, it's an apartment, maybe a condo, it doesn't matter. Your home place, the place you spend the most time. And don't say work. It's not work, guys. You spend most of your time at home, even if you spend a ton of time at work. So this is coming in upside down, which basically means, hey, you know what? This needs the energy right now. Maybe it's a project. Maybe it's a deep scrub, a deep home cleaning, a little spring cleaning going on there. Or maybe this is just like, hey, you know what? We need to get moving on this project that falls within the home. Hey, maybe we need to get this roof replaced. Maybe we need to get this air conditioning unit switched out because, summer is right around the corner, something like that. So that's the energy of what they attach to. If that sounds like something that maybe you hear, that's Spirit's way of saying, here, you are here with us in story 2, guys. And Aries, the next thing they show here is the Lovers card. So this is two people working together. It's not necessarily romantic, although it often is. This is usually your romantic partner, your significant other or something like that, but not always. This could also indicate that you're spending more time with one other person, and it may not be romantic. This could be like, you spending more time with your best friend. Usually that's not a romantic thing. Okay, so that's what they're showing is two people, two entities working together, spending more time together than usual. Maybe it is even about the projects or whatever we talked about the house. Maybe you guys are kind of coming to conclusions or working on certain things together in the month of April. They bring this up as a good thing. So they push this that you're really taking care of your people by doing this, taking care of the people that depend on you. Maybe the other people in the house, maybe just friends and family, and I'm not sure which direction they're taking this, but this is the card about doing things the right way too. So that may also be part of the kicker of where we need to take this reading, because you want to do things the right way here. So let's give you the example. Let's go back to the roof. If you need a new roof for your house, first thing you do is you don't take the first quote you get, right? You get a couple quotes. You want to hit about the middle quote, or, if you're brave, I guess you could do the cheap one. You definitely don't want to take the most expensive quote, right? But we want to do things the right way here. So this is letting you know, Spirit's way of saying, hey, you know what? You might want to get rid of that low quote. Don't do it. We want to do things the right way. We want to make sure that they're insured. We want to make sure that, they get the right contracts and paperwork. And, you understand the concept of where we're trying to go with this. So the next thing they show here is really being on top of your mental capacity here, Aries. And if you're here in story 2, especially, it is going to be extremely important for you guys to keep a good headspace, Be very firm about your decision making. Basically, be authoritative with it, so you don't need to ponder or wonder, or should I do this, shouldn't I do that? Bad energy. We don't want that. You guys got to be very decisive here in April, especially in story 2. They're saying actually that you guys do a great job of this. So it's not like I need to get Aries to get off their butt to do this. That's great. It shows you already are good at it and you're already doing it. So what do we need? We need more of that same energy because it's coming up again. So it's Spirit's way of saying, hey, you're good at this, but guess what? You need to keep being good at this. You can't take a break. You can't take some time off and just wander around and not know what you're doing. You got to be sharp up here in April, especially as it pertains to the situation. And here is why. We have all that glitters. Now, in this deck, this really does not mean that everything is golden. It means that something appears one way, but it's really not. It's like if this is about a person, for example, this could be very much like, this person looks like the perfect person for me, or, they look like they would do a great job on my roof, right? They seem like, they got all the I's dotted, the T's crossed, and they know what they're talking about. But here, the Spirit's saying, you know what? All that glitters is not gold. There's something underneath there that is not what it appears to be. So maybe this person is a con artist, for example. Maybe this person, if they're trying to date you, they're just bad intentions. They're not a good person or something like that. So the Spirit is basically saying keep an eye out here because somebody else is wearing a mask. Somebody is pretending to be somebody that they're not. Maybe it's a persona thing, or maybe it has to do with business like we talked about, something for the home. So hopefully I've given you enough context there to put good things into play for your April. Hopefully we avoid something bad coming up there by getting somebody too cheap in there that's gonna maybe make a mess of something, screw it up, slip and fall and sue you, or who knows what. So anyway, all that glitters is not gold. Just be very careful with that kind of stuff, guys. Now, before I get into story 3, which is your big story, I do want to cut away for your moon cycles. I'm also kind of cheating ahead to kind of look through here. They didn't really specify what moon cycle is the most important for Aries, so I would say equal strength, so you guys can go into this moon cycle forecast with a little bit of an equilibrium between new moon and full moon. So whichever one you're trying to do more in your life, I would focus on those. So let's cut away for that, tell you about the gemstone, and I'll be right back with story 3. Okay guys, it is moon cycle forecast time. Very simple set of moon cycles this month. Going to be a very quick pull. Also going to tell you about a brand new gemstone in the shop, but first those moon cycles. The moon cycles are starting to move through earlier in the months. So now we have the full moon that hits first in April. That comes through April 6th. That is the peak, which basically means from April 1 through about the 10th, it's going to be very strong energy for getting things out of your life. That is what the full moon does. I call it the garbage truck of the universe. Get anything out of your life that you don't want there. Use that energy to your benefit. It's already out there. The energy's already there with the moon. Might as well use it to your benefit. Much easier to walk downstairs than walk upstairs, swim downstream than swim against the current. That's what the moon cycles do for you. So it doesn't matter what you're trying to get out of your life either. The universe does not care whether this is breaking habits, whether this is getting rid of people. Some of you actually have to get rid of people and some cordage in your life, and all that stuff doesn't matter what it is. Much better placed early in April. Even if it's cleaning out a closet, a garage, getting rid of old things, maybe you got to sell something. That is all full moon energy, much better placed early in April. Adversely, we have the new moon, which comes through April 20th. April 20th is the key there. I can't say to focus on bringing new stuff in the end of the month anymore because the 20th is moved up far enough here where, the end of the month is getting more back into some full moon energy. So the focus for bringing new things into your life, manifesting in things that weren't there before, is the third week of April. April 20th is the apex. It doesn't have to be on the 20th though. Any kind of time around there. Let's call it the 15th through the 25th. Pretty strong vibration there for bringing new things in, whether you're trying to attract brand new love, whether you're trying to do something new with work, get a new job, do something new in the health corner, or do something new with your money. It doesn't matter what it is. If it's brand new, it's much better placed under the new moon, peaking on April 20th, but anytime right around there is key. And like I said, don't wait too long into the month to get something new going, because if you do, you're going to bump into that full moon energy eking its way through from May, and we don't want to do that. So that is your moon cycles, guys. Like I said, short and sweet there, but let's talk about the gemstone. I'm really proud to bring this one to you here. This is the first gemstone that is in the shop that is actually a permanent part of the Scott Sagent table, and it's right here. It's a little piece of sodalite. Sodalite is the gemstone for this month of April that we are releasing and debuting for the month. And sodalite is, I call it my wisdom stone. It is good for many different things. I'm going to be posting that on the shop page of my little research bracket there, my little graphic with all the great things sodalite does for health, for metaphysics, and for the whole bit. I call it my wisdom stone. It's sitting right underneath my ruby record keeper. So we have wisdom on top of wisdom there. And this is a wonderful stone that you guys will enjoy. And the full write-up is available on scottsagent.com. Check that out. You guys will love it. Let's get back to your reading. Okay, Aries, I am back, and it is story number 3 time. The first card that comes up, that is your connection card, is about slow growth. So if things have been happening slower than you want them to, usually this is finance. It can be other things too. So just I don't want to tie it down too tight for you and have some people miss here, but usually this has to do with finances. So if your finances are slower, you're waiting for growth to come in, maybe money to come in, something like that. You want to buy some things, accrue more wealth, and it's just happening very, very slow. Having a hard time saving. I mean, that is kind of the day and age, right? It is things are costing a lot. Inflation is high. We have record inflation. People are record in debt more than they've ever been. So, I understand that the slow growth is, a lot of people are here with you guys. It's not like you're alone by any means. The next thing they show here is a person coming in. This is the money guy. Okay, they did tell me a person. This is my King of Pentacles. He is upside down, so he's not really feeling something. He's upset about something. He is angry. And this, of course, could also be a female. Females can be kings. Usually they're not, though. This would be a very, very strong, stubborn, hard-headed female if that was the case. But for most people, like I said, it is a man coming in here. And he is upside down. So why is he upside down? He's not feeling something, or he's not aware of something, or not privy to something. Okay, so that's why they show him upside down. The next thing that we show here is the Hermit card. So you guys are doing something here. If you're with me in story 3, there's something to be done by yourself in the month of April. This is something that you just need to go off and do on your own. It has to do with transportation. So this could be like buying a car, renting a car, selling a car. They didn't say that, but it could be kind of a host of different things here. But we're moving toward a direction here of transportation. So it makes me feel like maybe you're just going somewhere. Maybe you're traveling somewhere, doing a day trip, going to see a family or friend member, that you don't normally do. But you're doing something alone in April that is kind of out of the norm, something you wouldn't normally do. But it's viewed as a good thing. It's just, there's something in the way. There's something blocking it. And I'm not sure what it is because that's my Sun card next. So this can move in a very good direction, but it's just like something's got to get out of the way first, if that makes sense. This is the best card in the deck. The only issue is that we have it blocked. We have it on an invert. So they're saying the sunlight is trying to get through, but there's something in the way. So it's almost like something has to happen first before you do this thing alone. There's so many things that this could be. I don't want to speculate too hard on it, but this can also be about, if I just go back to the base card, can be about being guided in a certain direction too. Maybe you specifically are being guided toward a certain path, getting advice on something, somebody's helping you with something and really in your ear, giving you advice. For example, if we go back to the car transportation idea, hey, you should really check out a Toyota or a Honda, or you should stay away from blank. That's the idea here. So there's something that needs to get out of the way first. So that's what I would kind of instruct you or encourage you to work towards and to overcome. But besides that, looking very good there. And I don't know what's up with the money guy. Maybe he just maybe he is the obstruction. Maybe you got to kind of get him on board before you can really get him to move forward with this. And that's why they show you being alone. So there's a lot of different ways that this can go. A lot of moving parts in that story, and hopefully I've given you guys enough that you can make it make sense for you. Grabbing your Angel Oracle card right now. I did promise you guys one extra one of those, and wow. I didn't see this come up for any specific story. So when we get this, in that situation, I have to read this like it's for the whole sign. They're letting you know, Aries, that, hey, this is going to be the month where you guys are going to, you got to make it work in weird ways. It's not going to be the puzzle pieces fitting perfectly together and just like, oh, it's perfect fit, perfect, this comes together, this was the plan, and that's what actually happened. This is like, hey, you made a plan to go to this city, go to a small vacation, check in the hotel. It was supposed to all go nice, hunky-dory, be nice and smooth and gravy, but guess what? They lost your reservation. They lost your luggage. This is the kind of stuff, guys. So it's like, it's supposed to work perfect, but these pieces are just going to have to, you're just going to have to make it work, is what they show. And that's my Chaos and Conflict card. So they're also showing here that, two people perhaps can be making things work when they're very opposite of each other. It's in this card, it's pictured as a zebra with giraffe patterns on it, and a giraffe with zebra stripes on it. So it's saying two completely different things that are just trying to make it work. Make something work in the month of April. And this can also be about, hey, just the big theme of the month is that you're just gonna have to be resourceful, make it work regardless of what it takes to get there. It doesn't really matter what it takes as long as you get there, right? So that's what Spirit is saying. They're like, hey, Aries, do not be afraid to put these puzzle pieces together, even though they aren't a perfect fit. It doesn't have to be perfect in April. That's the message for Aries. So grabbing the runestone, and that's going to conclude what has been a very interesting and good reading for Aries this month. All right, one last swirl, and we're ready to go. And here is the runestone. Aries. 2 wanted to come. You're getting this one. Oh, this is a good one, guys. This is the Flag of Joy is what I call it. It's actually Joy runestone, but I call it the Flag of Joy because it looks like a little flag on there, a little flagpole. So we got the Flag of Joy going on, guys, and this is it makes me feel very much like story 3. That's where I start with, because we had that sun that was trying to creep out. Something there can be so good. And as soon as we get something out of the way there, whatever that blockage is, get it out of the way and you can experience that full sunlight, which is joy. It's the best card in the deck. Now, joy over here in story 2 is the accomplishment. Whatever you accomplish within the home, what needs to get done here, and get done the right way. No cutting corners. Okay, that'll bring you joy once it's done. And then we have joy in story 1 with what finds you peace. So we want to get you with that decision-making process to that whatever you've really committed to in story 1 here, that's going to bring you joy because it brings you peace. It's like the two go together. It's a tandem, peanut butter and jelly. So there we go with joy, guys. That wraps us up. We've been through it all. Thank you so much for tuning in, Aries. Please remember to like and subscribe so you see the future readings. I do these every single month. Take care. Have a great April.